coronavirus. The coronavirus protecting myself from and my phone from the coronavirus. I actually heard to do this. And it's a good idea. So, hey there, everybody, and welcome to another language breakdown where I take a YouTube video and I break down the language to give you the information, the content in the video, but also we look at pronunciation, valuable expressions, fluency builders, different ways that you can increase your English fluency, plus learn more than English. Okay, but today I have another video on the coronavirus, right? There's a lot of hysteria, a lot of information, a lot of misinformation, a lot of good information. And in the last video, in last week's video, I shared a doctor's opinion on the cause of the coronavirus, what it actually does, and how we can prevent the spread of it. And today, I'm going to share a video from the Jimmy Fallon show. And it's another doctor, good sources to talk about or to learn about the coronavirus. And it's a doctor, but he's talking about how doctors wash their hands, right? So a professional way to wash your hands, because as anyone will probably tell you, as you've probably heard now, the best prevention, of course, aside from staying in your house, but the best prevention is to wash your hands as much as you can, right? When you go into a building, when you come out of a building, remember what this is called from last week? Hand sanitizer. To have hand sanitizer with you, just wash your hands constantly and your face and everything, right? And a tip I heard yesterday is, sterilize your phone, sanitize your phone, because if you have dirty hands and then you wash your hands and then touch your nasty phone, then your hands are nasty again. So, but today we have a video from the Jimmy Fallon show, Dr. Oz, showing Jimmy surgical hand washing, how to actually wash your hands and make it effective and be germ-free. We're going to listen to that. And of course, it's Jimmy Fallon, so it's entertaining, it's funny, there's some funny parts. I haven't watched all of it, so I wanted to save that to do it with you. But let me move over here so you can see me, so you can see the video, and let's talk about it. Let's learn how to surgically wash our hands the right way, and join along too, because I'm going to actually do it. Well, I'm going to act like I'm going to do it. I don't have water, but let's go.
Gentlemen, for coming such last-minute notice to our program. Can you walk us through this, please?
Well, first,
That's a good expression, by the way, right from the start. For one, first, last-minute notice, right? Just right in the beginning.
Gentlemen, for coming such last-minute notice to our...
Last-minute notice. You see how making mistakes doesn't matter. Don't focus on your mistakes. Jimmy made a mistake. I make mistakes talking to you all the time. Last notice, he said, and then last-minute notice. No problem. You make mistakes in your language, right? That's part of it. The best way and the most natural way to fix a mistake is to fix it naturally. Last-minute notice.
Gentlemen, for coming such last-minute notice to our program. Can you walk us through this, please?
And walk us through. Detail this. Tell us about this. To walk me through. It's a good expression if your job is explaining something to somebody, right? You're giving instructions. Let me walk you through this. Let me walk you through this. Walk you through.
Last-minute notice to our program. Can you walk us through this, please?
Well, first, I'll say one thing. As a surgeon, I've learned in my career, if you tell people the truth, that's going to hurt a little bit.
Yes.
They get prepared, everyone does fine. So there's a lot of good news out there. but some of the information that we're getting is a little scary. So I'll give you both sides.
Okay.
And then I think people can act. But the big message here is we can do this. We've mobilized as a nation before. We can, without any question, buy ourselves the time we need for the public health system to get better.
He's going to list off a bunch of benefits of this, but he said an interesting expression: we can buy the time we need. Let me show you again, and then I'll explain it further, because he talks really quickly, doesn't he?
Without any question, buy ourselves the time we need for the public health system to get better, for ERs to catch.
To buy the time we need. To buy time. To buy time means to postpone something, to delay something, like delay the effects of it in this case, right? To buy the time. If I need more time for something, it's a way to stall something and give yourself more time to find a solution or to think of an answer, or if you need to push off an exam, right? You buy the time you need. To buy your time, or to buy the time you need.
Can act, but the big message here is we can do this. We've mobilized as a nation before. We can, without any question, buy ourselves the time we need for the public health system to get better, for ERs to catch up, to get enough ventilators, for the government to figure out what they're going to do. But only if the people can hear my voice right now act are we going to buy ourselves the time. Because this pandemic is spreading so rapidly that a lot of our leaders are of the belief that we're going to have most of the population of this country infected within a year.
That could be serious. You see, like, I hear a lot of things that the effects, and I think myself, I think this is a silly time a little bit, because it's kind of a craze and a pandemic. But last night I just watched World War Z, and that was a pandemic, but it caused a zombie apocalypse, and everyone was crazy naturally. But this is everyone's crazy for a flu or a cold. But the problem is we don't have enough resources, as the doctor said, to take care of everybody. So let's listen again.
This pandemic is spreading so rapidly.
It's spreading so rapidly.
Are we going to buy ourselves the time? Because this pandemic is spreading so rapidly that a lot of our leaders are of the belief that we're going to have most of the population of this country infected within a year.
Most of the population of this country infected within a year. That's insane. That's crazy and scary.
Of the belief that we're going to have most of the population of this country infected within a year. Now, that's a problem. It's also a problem because we don't have the resources to take care of half the people in the country. So by slowing down transmission, we completely change what the future could be.
So we have to slow down.
Jimmy's going to say this too. Slow down transmission. I've been asked this a lot from students. How do you say transmite, right? Just transmission. To slow down transmission, contact trading, passing along from one person to the next. To slow down transmission from one person to another, from one person to another. To slow down transmission.
So by slowing down transmission, we completely change what the people in the country. So by slowing down transmission, we completely change what the future could be.
So we have to slow down the transmission. That's our goal right now. What is coronavirus?
So there was a bat virus, we believe, that got married to a virus that's more comfortable in humans.
I think he said a bat virus. You may not have caught that because I barely caught it. I think he said a bat virus.
So there was a bat virus, we believe, that got married to a virus that's more comfortable in humans. And those two viruses had kids, and they sort of pieced it together. And one of those kids had the ability to infect us in ways we never imagined possible. It probably happened around that wet market in Wuhan that everyone talks about. But now this new virus is something we've never seen before, so no one actually recognizes it. Our immune system can't fight it off, so we don't have any firewalls to protect us. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to affect young people at all. And most of your viewership, the folks under the age of 60.
Thankfully, it doesn't seem to. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to affect.
Thankfully, it doesn't seem to affect young people at all.
Thankfully, it doesn't seem to affect young people at all. At all. That's a good one too. That sentence has a bunch of good fluency markers. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to affect young people at all.
It off, so we don't have any firewalls to protect us. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to affect young people at all. And most of your
And you see, he kind of said, at all, at all. I wouldn't try to mimic that. I mean, if that's his way of speaking, and you probably in your language have people that speak super fast and kind of jumbled. But if you're saying it at all, at all, at all, it means like nothing, none. It doesn't seem to affect young people at all.
we don't have any firewalls to protect us. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to affect young people at all. And most of your viewership, the folks under the age of 60 are going to do just great with this thing. There hasn't been a death at a kid under the age of 10.
Okay.
It's all fantastic. Doesn't seem to hurt pregnant women quite as badly. So that's all good news. The bad news is that folks are older. Once you get past 60, if you have other illnesses, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, lung problems, so if you're smoking or vaping, please stop. This is a good excuse.
How can people not?
If you're smoking, you may not have caught that. I just caught it this time. Or vaping. Vaping is not, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think vaping is a healthy alternative to smoking. But if you're smoking or vaping, please stop, he says. He says it. I don't. Do whatever you want. Kill yourself if you want. Just kidding.
Problems, so if you're smoking or vaping, please stop. This is a good excuse.
How can people not panic about this?
Well, you don't panic by two reasons. One, you help other people, which always works. Do folks a favor, and it takes a little bit of the pressure off you. But if you actually know the facts, what you fear the most is what you don't understand.
You know, I did see that.
What you fear the most. And he said, I've talked about this before. He kind of blended it to what you fear the most. What you fear the most is what you don't understand. What you fear the most is what you don't understand, right? So
It takes a little bit of the pressure off you. But if you actually
and helping people, a great suggestion. That's something actually I've noticed is people are a little more unified, it seems, at least as of now. You know, helping each other. We're kind of want to be cautious together. And it's really nice to see. At least here in Spain, in southern Spain, in Sevilla. I don't know in other places.
know the facts, what you fear the most is what you don't understand.
You know, I did see that I really enjoyed. I follow you on Instagram, Dr._Oz. You put up this, what's called a survival protocol. Check this out. This is really interesting. If you want to, go to his Instagram, Dr. Oz's Instagram, or where else do you have this? On your website?
DrOz.com. We got stuff on YouTube. But let me just explain something real quick.
Yeah.
I wanted people to have action steps. If there are things you can do.
He said, I wanted people to have action steps. He talks really quickly and really kind of mumbled, but I want people to have action steps.
That stuff on YouTube. But let me just explain something real quick.
Yeah.
I wanted people to have action steps. If there are things you can do, you won't be perseverating in your mind, ruminating about what's going on. So there are lifestyle things you got to do, like sleep and exercise. There's things you got to do in terms of hygiene. Like when you wash your hands, most people don't wash their hands right. Show me how you wash your hands. That's terrible.
Right, like that, like this.
No, I'm going to show you how a
That was a great response because what a funny question. But how do you wash your hands? I don't know. I wash my hands like I go around and then like that. Maybe I go wash the back and I might get in between there like that, in between the fingers. Let's see if I'm doing it right.
surgeon washes their hands.
Cool.
Because what you
Now, he just said it. You may have missed it because I cut it off in between. He's going to show us how a surgeon, the doctor who operates on people, is called a surgeon. How a surgeon washes their hands.
Right, like that, like this.
No, I'm going to show you how a surgeon washes their hands.
Cool.
Because you're washing the back of your wrists, right?
Yep.
You know, that's not important. It's your fingers that touch your face. So after you get the soap on your hands, you do the Turkish twist. You go like this, rub the fingers in there,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And then you got to do the Tony Tum, right? Rub the fingers, the thumbs, opposing digits.
Yeah.
Seriously, we learned this in medical school.
I know. I just don't want to end up a meme.
Okay. And then,
He said, I don't want to end up a meme. A meme is in Spanish what you would call meme, literally how it's spelled, meme, but in English we call it a meme. I get that question a lot, actually. But we call it a meme. Said, I know, I just don't want to. I just don't want to become a meme. Or
we learned this in medical school.
I know. I just don't want to end up a meme.
I just don't want to end up a meme. End up, like result in, right? To become. I just don't want to end up a meme. I just don't want to end up a meme. Let's do it again.
The thumbs, opposing digits.
Yeah.
Seriously, we learned this in medical school.
I know. I just don't want to end up a meme.
I just don't want to end up a meme. Don't want to end up. Don't want to end up.
Okay. And then,
Yeah.
seriously, we learned this in medical school.
I know. I just don't want to end up a meme.
Okay. And then grease the palm. Grease the palm.
Yeah.
Right, both sides. That's 20 seconds. Wash your hands. Use the paper towel to turn off the sink.
By the way, greasing your palm, if you grease somebody's palm, we've learned before a few weeks ago with the mob boss, with the ex-mafia boss, what a bribe is, if you remember. A bribe is paying somebody in power so you can break the law, essentially, right? To not get you in trouble. So another word for that is greasing somebody's palm. So he has fun words so we remember what we're doing.
Sink and you get the palm.
Yeah.
Right, both sides. And then grease the palm. Grease the palm.
Yeah.
Right, both sides. That's 20 seconds. Wash your hands. Use the paper towel to turn off the sink and you get the door open and exit.
Really?
But if you do that, that one issue by itself halves the chance you getting the coronavirus, we believe. Just washing your hands.
Whoa. This is the part, if you don't know, that I haven't seen. Halves, he just said. It's not really a common expression to use. I wouldn't use it. I would use the word cuts your chances in half. But it's good to know, obviously, in case somebody says this. I haven't really heard this way. It halves it. Let's hear it again.
One issue by itself halves the chance you getting the coronavirus, we believe.
Halves. I've never heard that before, but it's good to know and to hear these sorts of expressions so you can kind of figure out what somebody says, even if it's a word you've never heard before. That's a very important skill to learn and to have when learning a language, right? Understand the context and don't get hung up on the specific words you don't know. But it halves your chances. This action, washing your hand, halves your chances. Or I would say, cut your chances in half of getting the coronavirus. Cut your chances in half of ing, of getting.
Really? But if you do that, that one issue by itself halves the chance you getting the coronavirus, we believe. Just washing your hands.
Just washing your hands.
Yeah.
That's it. Because this is good to know. This is good stuff to know. And exercise?
Exercise counts. You got to eat the right foods. And you do have to stock up, because here's what's going to happen. Let me paint the picture for you here. So everyone's traveling around. They've been in public events over the last couple of days, so they may have already gotten the coronavirus. So if you start to feel a high fever, or a lot of lethargy, tiredness with that,
Okay.
if you have a dry cough or some people get diarrhea, then there's a reasonable chance you've got coronavirus. So please don't go rushing off to the emergency room. You'll completely overwhelm the system. Just call your doc if you're worried.
Stay home.
Stay home, though. Just socially separate yourself from everybody else. Social distancing is the entire solution here. If we can just accomplish that one goal.
Wow, that's good that's good. That's really good information. If you feel that you have it, it's not the end of the world. I saw that Tom Hanks had it, and it made CNN, and people in the comments said they were crying. I don't know if they were sarcastic or not, but it's a flu or a cold, So don't go to the emergency room. He said, just stay home, isolate yourself, stay home.
Everybody else. Social distancing is the
Social distancing.
Stay home.
Stay home, though. Just socially separate yourself from everybody else. Social distancing is the entire solution here. If we can just accomplish that one goal, then we'll be over the top on this baby, because then we'll be able to slow down the progression of this. And I'm so optimistic about the treatments we're figuring out, the work around the immunizations is progressing nicely. It's all good news there, but you got to buy us time. People watching right now can do that. No one else can do it for you.
Again, buy us time. You see, you got this expression 3 times in this one conversation. To buy us time, to buy ourselves time.
Nicely. It's all good news there, but you got to buy us time. People watching right now can do that. No one else can do it for you.
Thank you so much for coming on. You're a gentleman. Thank you.
Jimmy.
Dr. Oz, everybody.
Have you guys done the elbow bump? My kids, well, first my teenage students taught me about the elbow bump, the elbow high five. And then my 4-year-old daughter taught me, and she called it, that's how we give a kiss. That's our coronavirus kiss, is an elbow bump. Or in Spanish, because she speaks Spanish mostly, un besito. But we don't do the besito. We do the elbow bump. So that's cool. So yeah, I hope you got some valuable information from that. I did learning about washing your hands like a doctor, the Tommy thumb. Did it get in between the fingers? I'll have to go back and watch it and wash all the fingers. And the greasing the palm. And then rinse it off. So there we go. Stay safe. Cut your chances in half. Half your chances of getting the coronavirus by washing your hands regularly, as often as you can. Have this baby next to you all the time, and look out for others. You know, and by the way, I mean, be careful. Like, take care of each other, right? Help each other. We're all in this together, right? We're all surviving together. We're all curious together. Right? We're doing this together. Speaking of together, pass this along and share it with someone else who needs to learn English and that is worried about the coronavirus, right? It's a great time to share these videos and this content. I sure would appreciate it. Anyway, but seriously, if you're finding content, then, the like button, the subscribe button, all of that stuff. But anyway, that's it for me today. Keep teaching and keep learning. Thanks for watching. I'll see you.